Okay, number 1 day of Cheshbon, Rosh Chodesh. Hayom Yom. What does the Yom Yom have in store for us? One Cheshbon. So in dark print, we're reminded that on Mincha and on Monday, and it's Shabbos Mincha, and on Monday and Thursday of the approaching week, which is Lech Lecha, the third Aliyah, which goes to the Yisrael, which I'm reading into this, means it's Shayach to Bnei Yisrael, all of us, begins with Vayera Hashem el Avram, Hashem appearing to Avraham. And this begins the Shnei Alafim Torah, the 2,000 years of Torah. Avram begins the journey. So he now tells us a bit about Avram. The Rebbe, my father, told someone at Yechidus that ever since God took our father Avraham, and he told him, go from your land, get out of your place. And it is then written, Avram kept going southward. We have the beginning of what's called the mystery of the Berurim. And I said the 2,000 years of Torah comes to Mevara, to rectify the state of fallenness when all the sparks fell from on high in the world of Tohu down here below. We're spending that period from the time of then throughout this period that we're beginning until we started the Ikvus Mashiach. That's the other 2,000-year period. But with Avram begins the solving of the mystery, but dealing with the mystery of the Birurim, the secret. Why did God create a world which crashed and burned only to have it to be restored? So by what we call Tikkun Olam, restoring, fixing the world. By the decree of divine providence, man goes about his travels to the place where the sparks that fell from the world of Tohu, where the sparks are that he must purify. And there these sparks are awaiting their redemption. And redemption is a carefully chosen word, as every word is here, because this is how the Geula happens, through each one of us rectifying the sparks that are belonging to ourselves, meaning ourselves, rectifying ourselves, and the sparks that we are, by Hashgacha process, meant to come upon in the outside world. Tzaddikim, who have vision, see where the Birurim await them, and they go there, deliberately. As for ordinary folk, the cause, with a capital C, the cause of all causes, and the prime mover, brings about various reasons and circumstances that bring these people, meaning us, to that place where lies their obligation to perform the avodah of Birurim. And one thing you can take this as, wherever you find yourself, because God is planning where you're going, even though you're making free choice along the way, this is the place, wherever you are, where your role is, and specifically carved out for you and me, wherever we are, to do the Birurim that need to be done. Okay, that's Hayom Yom. Avraham. Lessons in Tanya, our piece for today begins on page 100. I have 3 stars in my little book, and under it is where we start. And in Likutei Amorim, Likutei Amorim, page 280. The big words near the top of the page, V'hine. So we have spoken about 2 things. The unfettered revelation of Hashem, and that's number 1. And the fact that that revelation is too big to create differentiation. It's the place of singularity where Hashem echad in real, where there's only Him, ein od milvado. And the second thing is the world of separation, the world of multiplicity, which is created through tzimtzum, the contraction. Now, this contraction we've spoken about has a very positive The positive is that this is the strategy that Hashem has implemented to create mankind, which is his crown of creation, or his tachlis of creation. The whole purpose of creation is Adam, the human being, as we learned in this Yomim, to mavara, to rectify the fallen sparks. But when that contraction, right, diminution, contractedness, and the second part of it is concealing, goes a little farther, so the thin shell, which is called klippus noiga, which is designed to be pierced by us through our avoida of the work of the Yehudim, when that gets too thick, it causes what's called the klippus, gimel klippus atameus, the unclean coverings. The coverings are too dark and too thick. So this is la'umazeh. Zeh la'umazeh. I'm now reading inside. Zeh la'umazeh. This opposite this. Just as there are 10 spheros, which are containers, right? Those containers can become very, very thick and very difficult and really hide completely in the light of Kedusha and create a dark state. So these are called the Zela Umazeh, the opposite. Yesh Asora Kisre de Mesavuta. There are 10 crowns of total impurity, 10 spheros of Kedusha, 10 spheros of Klippus Noga, and 10 spheros of the opposite of Kedusha. And through that is drawn down the souls of idol worshippers. Remember, this is ultimately, we start at the beginning, this is an exposition of how godliness is in everything, even the completely evil. And we gave examples of that at the beginning of the chapter. And nothing can exist without godliness within it. But when godliness gets covered by klippa and very thick klippa, so the behavior of that godliness is the opposite of kedusha. Zela umazeh, it's a pasuk. Zela umazeh osa elakim. This opposite that Hashem has created. So opposite the 10 spheros of kedusha are the 10 spheros of the negativity of idol worship. So these are also gamken kalula me'eser. They're all also containing. They also are constituted of the 10 bechinas, the same 10. Now you have kindness of la'umazeh, of the opposite. Instead of kindness of kedusha, it's kindness. Let's take a very simple one: kindness that one does only for self-serving motives. The only reason I'm being nice to you is to get something back in return. That's an example. And there are many, many examples one could give for the perversion or the darkening of the light side into the dark side. And the following is known, the eretz, in the earth, meaning it's commonly known. That which is written in Sefer al-Gilgulim by the Arizal, on the pasuk in Kehelis. The pasuk says, Asher sholat ha'odam be'odam l'rale, that one man will rule over another man for the purpose of evil, of doing evil to him. So we have the man of Kedusha, holiness, and we have the man of the opposite of Kedusha. And Zeh la'umazeh, he's created them with a certain equality to be able to, one to prevail at some points and the other to prevail at other points. And this other man, this man of the other side, is the soid of Galus. Galus HaShekhinah is the fundamental, it's the secret of the exile of the Shekhinah. B'tei HaKlippas, amongst the Klippas. HaChayoysum, and this is the enlivening force that enlivens the Klippas. U'lahashlitum, and what gives them dominance, Bizman HaGalus, in the time of exile. Aval hularale, but it's, of course, for evil. It's evil. It takes the man of Kedusha, the form of the man, meaning the form of the 10 spheros, that's the Adam. Adam is built, B'Tselem Elokim, just as God has 10 spheros, we have 10 powers. And it takes that man of Kedusha and schleps that into the other side, into the side of Ra, of badness. Therefore, those who are worshipping idols, because of this darkness. So this darkness rules over the man of Kedusha, the man of Kedusha being the panemius of the Jew. It rules over the Jew. Because these souls of the idol worshippers are from clippers, which is an equal and opposite power. It's the power of the Shekhinah, but the power of the Shekhinah as is invested in galus, in exile, within the people, within the human. The Alter Rebbe says, even though this needs a lot of explanation, a wide explanation, how this actually works and what it's all about, and the purpose of it, which we could talk about, but this is the way things are. However, nevertheless, this that they're getting sustenance from Kedusha in a darkened, indirect way, is they're not getting the panemius, the inner dimension of Kedusha, they're getting the backside, Acharayim. The Acharayim, the Kedusha. This is called the backside of Kedusha. Command the Shode Basar Kaspov, like one he's got something and he throws it over his shoulder. Instead of a face-to-face relationship with Hashem, it's a back-to-back relationship with Hashem. And in addition to that, not only is it thrown over his shoulder, sort of a backwards, back relationship instead of a face relationship, but in addition, it has another dimension, which is tzimtzumim and it's very contracted, it's very little. It's not perceived as Kedusha at all. It's contracted, u'machazim rabim, and it's covered over very much with very rabim v'atzumim, covers which are very strong, many and strong. Unto such an extent, until this ha'ora, this ray of Kedusha, becomes invested b'chumnius olam hazeh, in the coarseness of the substance of this world, and it gives flow and energy to those who worship idols, and it gives them the result of, as we say, why do good things happen to bad people? We see that many bad people, oisher, they get rich, the kavod, they have a lot of kavod that's thrown upon them, honor, the whole tainugim gashmiyim, and this is also the source of all the physical pleasures, for them, meaning physical pleasures for their own sake. That's the Adam of Klippa, the Adam of Klippa. The Hashba of Elokus, which can reside in and be diminished in such a way that total darkness and evil is the result. Masha'en Ken Yisrael, the Jewish people, and he means here the way we are constituted essentially, the Inyan of Yisrael, right? That with our Shishim Riba Oisis B'Torah, right? And we have the power to bring out the Kedusha. The Yisrael, the inner dimension of the Jew, the Nefesh Elokis, Yonkim Bechinas Panim Helyonim. Its sustenance, it's literally sucking, like a baby is sucking. Where does it get its sustenance from? From the Panim Helyonim, from the supernal face. Panim, again, Panemius. From the Panemius of Hashem, it's Kedusha. But from the Acharayim, the backside, or the superficial levels, it's the opposite, can go to the opposite of Kedusha. But Yisrael, in essence, sucks literally from the face, from the inner dimension, the supernal inner dimension. As it is written, Yor Hashem panav elecha, right? Bechas koine. Hashem will shine His face upon you, panim, His panemius, on you. Each one of the Jew who is manifesting his Jewishness or her Jewishness gets a flow according to the source of each person's soul, Adureim HaMailas, to the highest levels. All right, so again, this is an exposition on how godliness can be contained and delivered on a dark side or a light side, but it's all godliness. Okay, that's today's Tanya, guys. Comments, questions? Well, then let's go forward, knowing we have the ability to turn either way, face to face, back to back. We may as well turn face to face. It's a lot more delightful. We'll see you tomorrow.